As new animes come out each season, we have a new set of animes for this winter season. Previously, we just talked about another show, but I failed to mention probably the biggest show of the winter season. While I'm recording this video, Solo Leveling is currently working on their third episode for the series. And I'll be completely honest with you, this looks like the new banger. So let's talk about the first two episodes of Solo Leveling, and I'll explain to you why you should be watching this show. But before we get started, if you like talking about new animes per season like this, show some love to this channel. I greatly appreciate it, and let's talk about the new anime Solo Leveling. If you've been an anime fan for quite some time, I'm sure you've seen those animes that become much bigger than you expect. Shows such as Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen, even stinky ones such as Promised Neverland. There's always a chance that that series is much bigger than you expect and you're just waiting for it to get an anime adaptation. The most recent one I can think of is Chainsaw Man, and that's been a year since it came out. But now it's time to talk about another show that's been waiting for its moment. Solo Leveling is another, Isekai-like show, but at least this one's good. And let me tell you why you should be watching Solo Leveling. Now, looking at the world of Solo Leveling, we follow our young protagonist named Sung. Sung dreams of becoming a hunter. In other words, a person is able to venture through different dungeons and obtain loot. Now, within this world, there is a power scaling basis off of where you rank within class. Of course, if your letter falls within the start of the alphabet such as A or B, then you're a strong hunter. However, some people are not as fortunate and their letter becomes something like a D. Unfortunately for our hero Sung, he's so weak his grade class is rank E. Now, majority of people within this world will get their power at a young age. Once you awaken your power, you will not grow with that power. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit, good buddy. Now, even so, many people within this world choose to go through these gates that lead to different dungeons. Usually you'll pair with other hunters so you can conquer the dungeon together. And of course, you can reap the rewards of whatever you find. However, some people use Sung because he is so weak. Now, you could argue that he's using them too because he's only a class E. But nonetheless, if you get paired with him, you can always do E-rank dungeons with him. Now, to get this out of the way, our hero Sung does have a reason as to why he's choosing to go to dungeon. You see, he doesn't just need the finances to help his kid sister through school, but he also needs it because his mother is basically bedridden. So his overall goal is to get this money for his family. And we even see because of his poor situation, he struggles getting things for himself. Having a good knife to help him during hunts or even having a brand new pair of shoes. It's all a struggle for him, but he'll get what he can get and trade it in for some money. Now, jumping into the action part of this episode, we get to see Sung try his luck against a dungeon, and he ends up getting swagged on brutally. While he does get some type of treasure for defeating a small goblin, it's not too much. Even though this is a low rank dungeon and the others don't seem to be harmed, Sung got destroyed, and he's also dependent on his childhood friend Jo-hee to heal him whenever he gets the chance. Now, when it comes to Jo-hee, it does seem as if she is a true friend and not doing it for some type of game. She even pesters him to take her out to dinner sometimes. So overall, she can't mean any harm. It just really sucks to see that Sung is so dependent on a healer even against a small goblin. But if you think this action part was bad, then you're not ready to see what happens next. After traveling further inside the dungeon, the team seems to find a cave that's unexplored. After a show of hands, the team decides it's best to explore it because this is a low rank dungeon anyways. Well, that is until you get there. Once the team actually arrives at their destination, they're stuck inside a large room. And once there, they're greeted with many large statues that get off an intimidating feel. Now, if you've ever seen any of these shows that seem to be happy-go-lucky and then they turn around completely, well, this show is one of those too. Very quickly, the doors are shut behind the group. And very quickly, they're all tasked to survive by following the rules within the room. Now, what happens if you don't follow the rules within a room? Well, I'll just show you. Now, please don't get me wrong, I'm not sympathetic for any of these bums. Well, at least for the ones that chose to continue on. And I didn't even show you all the ones that got bodied. But overall, the group is tasked to try not to get massacred. And really, the only person that has a damn clue what's going on is Sung. But as a viewer, you start to get the idea that a lot of these people are in it for themselves. I mean, most of them came into the dungeon to get loot for themselves anyway. So I really shouldn't be surprised when their back's against the wall that most of them are trying to run. I mean, there's almost almost zero lack of intelligence throughout most of the characters here. And what's pretty obvious is our hero Sung starts to realize that when he's left alone, while the group instructor was willing to sacrifice himself so that others could get away, the only other person that was rocking with Sung was Jo-hee. So it's more fitting for her to be saved at the end of this whole situation. But when it comes to our main hero, he ends up cursing the world while he's getting torn. Now this is where we stop, and we'll have to wait and see what happens for episode 3. But if this season goes very well, then I can see us all talking about this season again on this channel. So if you have seen Solo Leveling, let me know what you think of it in the comments down below. And if you're wondering what to watch next, I just talked about a new seasonal anime, Chain Soldier, over here. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Peace.